Welcome into LAFC Weekly. Hi, I am Max Bretos, and this is the show that gets you up close and personal to all things black and gold. One of the new additions to the club ahead of the 2025 season has been forward Jeremy Abobasy. Over his career in Major League Soccer, he has scored a lot of goals, and he brings that to the black and gold. Great on the field. And as you're about to find out, he has found time to be productive off of it, doing things, making the world of soccer better for so many others. It's about finding the right balance, and it's great to have him with the club. We go off the pitch with Jeremy Abobasy.
Now Abobasy! It's a dream debut for Jeremy Abobasy in black and gold.
Jeremy, I know you have a background that's a little different than most. Can you tell us a little bit about where you're from, where you grew up?
Yeah, I grew up outside of Washington, D.C., in Bethesda, Maryland, but I was born in France, moved over as an infant. My parents are from Cameroon and Madagascar, so I call myself a citizen of the world. I mean, I hold all four of those countries pretty closely, have family all over the place, and I'm pretty well traveled, so it's special to incorporate all those into one household and share it with my teammates.
Being born in France, I believe you would be the fifth French-born player on this LAFC roster. Have you been able to endear yourself or acclimate to that group?
Yeah, I've been fortunate throughout my career. In Portland, we had a lot of French or French-speaking guys, and coming into the soccer room, I noticed that as well. So definitely have tried to gravitate towards the French connection, and if for no other reason, so my mom doesn't become disappointed that I've lost my French.
Growing up in Beltway area, soccer I know is pretty big there, but how did you gravitate towards the sport, and how did your family background kind of propel you in that direction?
Yeah, I always start with Cameroon when it comes to soccer. I mean, my dad played soccer growing up, bouncing around Cameroon, and we have this joke inside the family where he tells us he was a great player, and we kind of just laugh at him and ask for the proof, and it's never really there. So my brother and I like to say that we got our skills elsewhere, but it does start with Cameroon. And for them, they were in France when the '98 World Cup was going on, and France won. My brother was about 6. So a lot of soccer memories built into the family through the various places that everyone has lived. For me, it was just kind of following the footsteps of my older brother as he was playing in the Bethesda, Maryland area.
So it felt like soccer was in the works, but when did you know, you said, I'm pretty good at this and this is something I can pursue?
I would say the turning point was when I was 15. I went overseas to trial with a Premier League club. At that point, that's when it became real to me. It became real to my parents, and that's when we kind of had to have some hard conversations. I don't think my parents got to where they got to because of the academic track, and the idea of me potentially not even going to college was like, that's an interesting conversation, one that my brother and my mother were all in on. They were ready to kind of jump off with me, but my dad took some convincing. But when he went overseas as well to kind of see the facilities, talk to the directors, I think it was a turning point for him where, if I applied the values that he wanted to instill in life and in school on the field with the resources that would be provided to me at the time there, he had no doubt that I could make a career and that school would be there as a backup if and when I wanted to go back.
How were you able to continue the studies as a teenager and then fulfill that moment where you're able to go to an elite university to play soccer?
That definitely presented some challenges. I got to Duke and I was 17 because my identity was so tied to the game and all these goals I had for myself. Freshman year was very challenging. Academically, I took the wrong classes, was missing classes for games. On-field performance wasn't going well, so naturally the social was just all out of whack as well. But it was a crucible that I needed, and it taught me a lot about just resilience and finding my way after a difficult period. So the spring and the fall really saw things start to turn around. The grades were back where I expect them to be. The soccer was starting to get to where I expected it to be, and I know that there was more to give, but I felt like I had gotten what I needed out of the experience, and I was transparent about that and able to pursue the next step.
You've always put a lot on your plate, and I wanted to ask you about being the co-founder, board member, vice president of Black Players for Change. Tell us about how it started, why it needed to be started, why it's so important that that's a part of everything we do here in Major League Soccer.
Yeah, it started in 2020 when there was a lot of unrest going on in this country, and we felt like the league wasn't necessarily responding to the moment in the way that we would have liked. At the same time, a lot of the veterans who I was learning from and who brought me in to help start this organization were kind of making more clear what I had already known, which is that the opportunities for especially Black players who have played their careers in MLS and been proud to serve the league and their teams aren't necessarily translating to coaching positions, front office positions, and beyond. So, at the end of the day, it's about creating representation across the board so that the managers of our league also reflect the player pool, and we can just continue to have this cohesive environment in which we are fostering growth from all over the place. It's a big job. There's a lot of partners that believe in the mission, and it's a work in progress for everyone.
Coming up on LAFC Weekly, for Southern California native Aaron Long, who was named LAFC's captain before the 2025 season. Leadership is not a responsibility, but a way of life. LAFC Weekly is presented by BMO, official bank of LAFC. By Stater Brothers Markets, fresh, affordable, community first. And by Pacific Office Automation, official partner of LAFC. Hey LAFC fans, the first entry period for the Enhanced Experiences Sweepstakes presented by Zelle is live. Send money with Zelle to have a chance to win VIP experiences, autographed jerseys, player meet and greets, and other exclusive prizing. Learn more and opt in at lafc.com/Zelle for your opportunity to win. Aaron Long is entering his third season with LAFC. When he arrived in 2023, there was no talk about being the captain. After all, way down the pecking order when you have guys like Carlos Vela and Ilie Sanchez. A Southern California native, now in 2025, the conversation was had, and he was given the responsibility to lead out the black and gold, a responsibility he is taking with both hands. We go behind the crest with El Capitan, Aaron Long.
Being a leader just means being your true, authentic self. If you're meant to be followed, then people will follow, I guess. Just being genuine, I feel like that's a huge component of it. I don't know what the process is exactly. Steve and John just announced the captain for the year. I don't know what the full process is, to be honest. No votes, no ballots. I don't know.
It's just a period of observations that come to a conclusion, an obvious conclusion, and in a sense, the team decides, who are their leaders, and Aaron is one of them.
Proud, for sure. Proud to be looked at as a leader amongst my peers, within the coaching staff, within the front office. To not only be a leader on the field, but to know that I have the moral compass to, be someone that can lead the club off the field as well, and be looked at as, someone that's doing good in the community. It's a good feeling, a lot of pride. Anytime you're the captain of a team or you're, leading the charge or captaining the ship, however you want to put it, there's a little bit of an emphasis on you, right, to make sure things are going the way that they should be going. But I don't feel that pressure. I feel like I live my day-to-day the same, and I approach every day the same. I approach every game the same. I'm going to hold guys accountable no matter what. So nothing changes on my end, I think.
It's a shared responsibility that a lot of us take on. For me to wear the armband is great, and it's a great responsibility, and it's an honor. But there's a lot of us in this locker room that are leaders.
Every group of players has its own challenges on how you want to lead them, right? And for me, it makes it almost easier to have that wider range, right? And to have so many experienced guys and World Cup winners and veterans that have played in Europe. Like it makes it so much easier for me and for us as a group. I feel like to have that big group of leaders like we've had the past couple of years, and guys that we can rely on in the locker room, guys that can speak up and speak their voice, and guys are going to listen and respect them in different moments. It doesn't always have to be the same one or two voices that that are speaking up in big moments or good moments or bad moments, whatever it is. Just a lot of guys that we can rely on in the locker room, and I feel like that's what makes this group special. I feel like another thing is we all really enjoy each other's company. I feel like the locker room is fantastic, and that makes things easier on a day-to-day as well. I don't know why or how, but I've always been able to flip that switch really easily.
2 9s, happy birthday, brother. 40. That's a big one. That's way up there.
I don't know, I'm super fun or charismatic. You know, I have, you know, that dry humor that everyone sees around the training ground.
Boom, just the way we drew it up. Mom comes to town, boom, we get the goal. Big goal.
I like to, you know, take the out of people or whatever it is, but when it comes to the games or training, I don't know, I want to win, I want to compete.
They stay put, under delivers. Good looking ball, parried away, and it's Aaron Long.
Accountability and a common goal that everyone is working towards. I feel like those are some of the biggest things, right? It's easy to say you want a trophy, but to have everyone working towards a trophy every day is a different story, and holding guys accountable, and not just having one guy, but having, you know, a group of guys or everyone holding each other accountable. I think that's the secret.
Okay. All right, let's go. Wait on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Come on.
It's not something you can try to do or, you know, put on a front or you know, act a certain way in front of the cameras or whatever it is. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing and keep being me. Being mentally prepared to have the best game for myself, but also put my teammates in the best situation and recognize what's going on the field, and if I can change anything in the moment, try to change it. But yeah, there's no extra significance with me having that armband or going through the coin toss, nothing like that. It's always been just, how am I gonna win this game? How are we gonna win this game?
Coming up on LAFC Weekly, we relive Jesus Murillo's most iconic moments with LAFC. Welcome back to LAFC Weekly. The amount of top soccer talent coming out of Colombia has exploded the last few years. Perhaps it was always there, but now the eyes are cast from the top clubs to the top leagues all over the planet. LAFC has had the front foot in finding good Colombian players over the years, and in 2020 they welcomed defender Jesus Murillo. At first he was a bit raw, but before too long, one of the best center backs in MLS, and if there was a big game, he was in the starting 11. Just like he was in the 2023 MLS Cup Final and in 2022, where he scored a goal on the way to the trophy. Jesus Murillo, this week's Call Jacob iconic player.
Es lo más lindo que hay. Uno como jugador siempre sueña con quedar en la historia, con marcar historia, y creo que esto va reflejado en eso.
That's Jesus Murillo of LAFC, and it's all square early in the second half. In his home stadium in front of the 3252. Murillo! What is going on at Exploria Stadium?
Es algo maravilloso, defendiendo este escudo a muerte y poder seguir creciendo como futbolista. Cuando me empalmo y volteo y veo que va para adentro, nada, la sensación es increíble, cómo se levanta el estadio, es lo que uno como jugador desde niño, de tanta lucha, que valió la pena aguantar tanto sacrificio. Es increíble, es maravilloso.
Getting forward the centre back, Rodriguez trying to get him behind. Great challenge from Maria. Well, Maria, one of the best in the business in Major League Soccer.
Se da cuenta uno que sí se puede, que los sueños son posibles. Donde me siento bien y siempre estoy contento es aquí, como aquí en Los Ángeles, Mike.
Coming up on LAFC Weekly, we relive the moment former LAFC goalkeeper Maxim Crapo became a club legend. LAFC Weekly is presented by BMO, official bank of LAFC, by Stater Brothers Markets, fresh, affordable, community first, and by Chick-fil-A, proud partner of LAFC. Registration for LAFC youth camps presented by Stater Brothers and associate partners BMO, Planet Fitness, and Five Below is open. LAFC youth camps provide an exclusive opportunity led by LAFC trained coaches to teach young players the techniques of one of the most successful soccer academies in the United States. Be sure to register at lafc.com/academy/camps before all the spots fill up. The window for athletes, except for a select few, can be pretty short. Injuries can derail a career and sometimes end them. Athletes know that is part of the gig. In 2022, Maxim Crapo, the goalkeeper for LAFC, had a decision to make. Put his body in a perilous situation in the biggest game of the season. A play he made, which led to a fracture of his leg, but also led to LAFC lifting the MLS Cup. The ultimate sacrifice. Happy to say Maxim Crapo is back playing for club and country, a day we won't forget. With the help of Team Security Paul, let's go back to 2022, the classic club moment presented by Stater Brothers.
Secondly, I saw you guys FaceTiming with Maxim in the locker room. What did you say to him? What did he say to you on that FaceTime?
I'll go to the second question first. I just saw his face, and I think we both saw each other's emotions. That's the play of the game for me. He made a big-time decision by coming out and making that play.
I mean, he's brave. He's brave. He has to come out. Potentially saves the game here.
But the emotion in that phone call was just something special to have.
And win MLS Cup for LAFC with this kick. Yes!
Max, it's on the big screen, baby. Hey, that's on the big screen. Hey, we did it, man. I love you, man. I love you, man. I love you.
Maxim's wife, Christine, wants to say a couple things.
I'll try to do my best. Max gave his heart and his body yesterday for the club, for Los Angeles. And he asked me to say something for you. Guys, we did it. I'm so glad we brought it home. Thank you to my teammate, the staff, the organization, and the amazing support since day one as I arrived in the black and gold jersey. This one is for you, Los Angeles. And this is only the beginning. Let's celebrate tonight.
That's going to do it for LAFC Weekly. Make sure you tune in next week for an all-new episode. Until then, go black and gold.